scene in central Kiev tonight. A firewall of blazing tents and smoking tyres as protesters defiantly lob firecrackers and other missiles. Confronting them, a barrage of riot police using water cannon trucks to push their way forward. This protester, Lyudmila, says she's not afraid. I've been standing here 3 months already, she says. I'm here for Ukraine and for my family. Earlier, from inside the protest camp, the opposition leader Vitaly Klitschko urged his supporters to stay put. Each of you here should stay strong in spirit, he said, because we're not going anywhere. A new and deadly phase in the fight for Ukraine's future, which had earlier turned the centre of the city into a virtual war zone. Protesters lobbying rocks and Molotov cocktails. The police retaliating with rubber bullets, stun grenades and reportedly live ammunition. The clashes lasted for hours and led to deaths on both sides, as well as hundreds of people injured. Here, a wounded demonstrator being helped by colleagues. Here, a policeman being hurried to safety. The worst day of violence since protests erupted 12 weeks ago, after President Yanukovych rejected a far-reaching trade deal with the EU in favour of closer ties with Russia. At the heart of the protests in Ukraine are two opposing visions of the country's future. Some people, especially older Russian speakers in the industrial East, want to stay close to Russia, their historic ally. But others, younger and Western Ukrainians, want to break free of Russia's influence and turn westwards towards Europe. Divided loyalties, which some fear could end up splitting the country down the middle. Yesterday, it looked as though tensions were subsiding. There were signs of a clean-up as protesters agreed to vacate some government buildings in return for an amnesty against prosecution. It's still not clear who or what ignited the trouble today, possibly radical protesters, but some fear government provocateurs providing the pretext for a crackdown. The American and European governments say they're deeply worried.
We are appalled by the violence that was already taking place in downtown Kiev and reports of armed riot police massing on the edge of Maidan. We continue to condemn street violence and excessive use of force by either side. Force will not resolve the crisis.
Tonight, there are reports that the opposition leader, Mr. Klitschko, is meeting President Yanukovych. But it's still unclear if negotiations can calm this night of crisis. Bridget Kendall, BBC News.